Hello there, good afternoon to you all, and welcome to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures here on YouTube. Now, as you probably know, the world has gone crazy again, and here we go. Here's our second best bit, what we want, well, what we don't want, lockdown. But however, at the moment, we are working very hard to try and avoid it, but now it's become inevitable. So, as you know, Boris Johnson is going to be addressing the nation, addressing the Commons at 5 o'clock, not 4, because it's now been put back now, because he still needs to discuss what is got to change at the moment. Now, as you remember, the coronavirus started in Wuhan in China, and then it spreaded all across the world, and it was causing a big damage to the economy. And then, as you probably remembered back in March, my bus journeys had to come to a halt to reduce the spread of the coronavirus. But at the moment, bus journeys are going to continue, but there will only be 2 left in the flesh because of what is going to happen from possible this upcoming week. So, as you might have heard, that the government have decided that they're going to look into try and get the R8 down, because as you know, we're coming up to December, so the lockdown is to be a full November, so we got to lock the whole of November down, so probably starting from the 4th of November and then finish on the 1st of December, just in time for Christmas. So we're going to try our best to make sure that it starts on the 4th of December for the full lockdown, and then so we can 4th of November to start, and then return in time, and then return to normal in time for Christmas. Now, as you probably remembered, I was very emotional when I first did that broadcast back in March. But however, as you probably know, I'm not emotional because I've got some plans, and I'll probably be doing some vlogs on some lockdown projects which have been put into place, and I'm not going to tell you what they are at the moment because we have to discuss when it's going to be the time we're going to lock down. But so Boris Johnson is going to be addressing the nation at 5 o'clock this evening, and then Monday and Tuesday will probably be my last remaining days on the bus. Depends if Boris puts it early or late, so we'll just need to find out what's going to happen. So it will be more than likely Wednesday is going to be the time when we go into lockdown, and then this means we'll see the closure of the non-essential shops, even the pubs, bars and restaurants. And the restaurants may likely to be open if they're operating a takeaway service, but however, that is yet to be discussed. Also, gyms and leisure centres will also have to close on the same time scale. So hopefully we can get rid of the infections. We could open some areas, so this this is going to be like a 4-week. It's not going to be like what happens in March. And let's hope it doesn't happen like that, because March was a very, very funny one. It actually scared us all. Then this meant I had to go off the bus and do walking. As you can see, here I am walking. Anyway, Boris Johnson is going to address the nation at 5, and then I will come back and discuss to all of you what is going to happen from next week. And as you probably know, at 5, so you're going to join me at 5. So as you probably know, Boris will not be filmed on this system, but there will be a caption before Boris, and then there'll be one after the nation. So anyway, so at the moment we're continuing as normal. So non-essential shops are open at the moment, but they are more likely to close from Wednesday, meaning we'll have a big blow to the economy, but it won't be for long, because like we said, it's only going to be for 4 weeks, so it's going to take the whole month in November. So that means we won't have a November. So even though it's called November, so it means we can't do anything. So that's why they call it November. So hopefully we'll have a December or Nocember. So that's just one of my figure of speeches. So as you know, coronavirus is a very difficult time. So as you probably remembered, on the 19th of March was my last bus video, the 226 Dudley to Maryhill. This time it's probably more than going to be likely the 580, and I might be doing a rediscovered one on the service going towards Wolverhampton, but I will discuss more on that very soon if it's going to be safe to do so. Otherwise I might have to do it in the car. So it's going to be, as you know, it's a very tough time. I will be, and as you probably know, I will be I'm in the process of making the rediscovered 192 Birmingham to Hereford and Old Midland Red route. Most of the videos are done virtually on my PC, as you probably might have seen during lockdown. The next part is done in the car between Hagley and Blakedown, and then the next part is then done but on virtual, going across Downstation Continental through into Kidderminster bus station, then on to Bewdley, and then as far as Clibber and Mortimer, and then the 292 when it was operated by R&B Travel back into 2019 going up Clay Hill. Then the rest of the video is all going to be digital, because basically the 490 and 492, the Leominster and Hereford's going to be done on a Lug Valley travel adventure. So as you probably know, this is very, very crazy at this moment, and COVID-19 has been worse since March, and however we managed well, and then this meant we all had to stay at home to protect the NHS and save lives. And we keep trying our best, so this means I'll be staying at home more often, but I'll still be catching up with friends via social media. As you know, social media is the secondary way of chatting to people. The people when you talk in the flesh is primary, but however we're having to go secondary, but this is yet to be discussed from the Prime Minister later on, and I will be giving you a full update from what the Prime Minister had had to say during this critical time. Now, as you probably remember, back in March we saw a big loss to bus routes. As you know, the 303 Worcester to Kidderminster got suspended when everyone was going to say, oh, it's never going to come back. The 202 Bromsgrove to Halesome, which I'll update you in a minute. 202 Bromsgrove to Halesome, yeah, along with the some of the other routes got suspended, but most of them made it through the coronavirus pandemic, like the 52 Wolverhampton to Cosley, 545 Wolverhampton to Bilston, 57 Stourbridge to Woolheath, 108NC, Stourbridge Circulars, X16 Belgrave to Birmingham. But the ones that couldn't make it through was the 146. The 2 Kidderminster to Hales Park made it through for the pandemic, but returned in time. And as you probably know, it's now replaced by the new number 8 service. And I might be considering if I'm able to do that on Monday, because, like, as you know, I can still use the buses as I'm travelling, essentially going to college over in Dudley. So, as you know, it's very important that colleges and schools in the education industry must stay open, because that will, but however, due to all these cases going around, we don't know what's going to happen with colleges and schools, and I will be giving you a full update on that shortly. And then, as you know, the previous lockdown was going to last for 3 weeks, but however, the Deputy Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Jenny Harries, suggested that times must last longer, but she said we will not be in complete lockdown for 6 months, but however, we have to be very careful. And she told us that we must not then suddenly revert to our normal ways of living, because that wouldn't be safe. Because if we had stopped then, our efforts will be wasted and we could potentially see a second peak, which we are in now. So over time, probably over the next 6 months, they would be doing a 3-week review. So 3 weeks per review, 2 to 3 months to see wherever they've squashed it. And it's about to 6 months. And ideally, with a lot of uncertainty in that, when there's an idea that everyone could go back to normal. And it was plausible that it could go further than that. But however, Chris Whitty said that we have to be more realistic. So times might have to return for 2021, all the good times. But however, we are going to continue to work closely with the NHS. As you know, every Thursday night we did a clap. As you know, we did a Thursday night clap, which was very fun, and like me having fun and clapping for the NHS and all the key workers, working very hard in these difficult times. And a big shout out to all my vlog stars who are always watching my YouTube channel. And hopefully next year, if this virus comes to an end, this means I can then start to return to a full normal bus journey in the coming months or weeks, depending on what is going on at the moment. So what we've got to do, so as you know, when on public transport, what we have to do, when using public transport, you're required this. This is a hand sanitizer, so make sure that you wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds of time. And the other item that you need when travelling on the bus, face covering. So these face coverings, so what you do, you put it on like this, and it protects yourself from getting the coronavirus. As you know, these face masks are to be worn mandatory in enclosed spaces and on public transport, especially the shops. So then this means you don't cough on staff and staff don't cough on people. Another secondary use, you can use like a face shield that goes like this, but however, that is not a face covering. This is a face covering. So these have to be worn at all times in enclosed spaces and also in shops. And what you do, you take it off and then you put it in there. And what you then have to do, I'm just like demonstrating after touching a mask. You put your hand gel on like this. And make sure that you kill all the germs after touching the mask, because like it cannot be touched by other customers. So what you do, you screw the hand gel on like this. And you just put it where you found it previously. And also, as you probably remembered, back in March, people were panic buying for these hand sanitizers. But however, we need to stop panic buying for fighting for soap, pasta and hoarded glue rolls. Because that is panic buying. So make sure that you buy the following basic necessities: food, drink, medicine and other basic necessities such as washing powder, if that is not under the panic buying list. And we'll always keep a good shout out to all of us. And also, there's another thing, please keep your distance from other people. Keep the 2 metre distance when sitting on a bus. Make sure you sit closer to the window. Make sure you have the window open. Make sure you have the window open like this. That will then allow ventilation inside the bus. So make sure that the windows are kept open on the bus to allow for ventilation, and make sure that you sit closer to the window to allow the ventilation. So then I'll be back later after Boris Johnson has addressed the nation what is going to happen, and I'll come back with the full update what is going to happen from next week. Thank you for understanding in this difficult time. So then, the update from Boris Johnson. The lockdown is going to come into force on Thursday. So, what we now need to do from Thursday at this national emergency, stay at home, protect the NHS and save lives. And that is what we're going to do, because we do not want a terrible Christmas. That's what we don't want. It's going to be for 4 weeks, so don't panic about saying it's going to be for 5 months. That will not be happening. A 5 month will not be inevitable anymore. That will never happen again, like what happened back in March. Because back in March, we didn't know about a lockdown. This was the first time we experienced one, and now we're going to go back into lockdown only for 4 weeks, so we can then improve our NHS. So, you should only go out if you're going to school, college, university, shopping, and also for a walk with your support bubble and members of your household. That's all. You should only do that with your support bubble or members of your household. So, for 4 weeks, stay at home, protect the NHS and save lives. And we will get through this virus, and we will make sure we have the best Christmas of all time. Thank you. And as you probably might also know, that my bus videos are going to still go ahead as planned. Monday, 8, Rifle Range to Hales Park, and then Tuesday, 580, Kidderminster to Kinver. And that will be the final draw, so that will be the last ones to complete. And thank you very much for listening in this very critical tipping point time. Thank you.